What's up, Facebook friends? Happy Friday! I'm excited it's Friday, really. Hope everybody had a good week. Hope that you were all able to find some highlights and some bright spots in your week. Wait for some more of you guys to join in on here. We got one. Jake's in here. I was hoping it was Jake. How you doing, Jake? Glad you're back. So I think it was the reading I was doing 2 days ago, but there was a spot in there where one of the responses I had read to you guys was something along the lines of, um, I forget exactly how it was worded, but it was something along the lines of like being able to find something that fulfills you every day, a bright spot or something that you look forward to every day. And he gave examples, whether it was, you're looking forward to a basketball game with friends you had after work, or, time with your kids, or, obviously we're not gathering in, pandemic life today, but those are just some examples that the book had given. But it was more so about, being able to still find something to look forward to in every single day. Jake's doing well, staying busy and staying connected. That's what I like to hear. That's what we got to do, right? Stay busy and stay connected. It's how we're getting through. And staying connected can be one of those things that we look forward to every day as well. But since I had read that the other day, that had really just stuck out in my mind. It's kind of something that's stayed with me a little bit, is what I mean. And in the sense of, the reader had said that, or I'm sorry, the author had said that, finding one little thing to look forward to in each of our days keeps us hungry, right? It keeps us excited. It keeps us motivated and wanting to continue to keep going. I can think back to many times in my life where I didn't have a lot of those days where there was anything in my day that I really looked forward to, or that was that kind of something that light me up inside. Like I didn't have that for a long time. For me, quite some years ago, what that bright spot in my day, something that would light me up, was being able to go out and get into some trouble that night. Those were my bright spots of my days for a really long time. And for me, I'm just very grateful that I found other bright spots to really just kind of keep me going throughout my day. Hey, Holly. And those look different over time, but I have other bright spots that kind of keep me going to today, things that I look forward to throughout my days. And sometimes that is being on here with you guys. This is a bright spot to my day. But you know what, like I've shared before, in all honesty, there's days where we all get that, like, oh, I don't feel like it, or I feel like I don't have anything new to talk about or anything new to share. But there have been a few of you that have been reaching out to us at Recovery and just letting us know that you're really enjoying these videos, and that that's just so amazing. It's something that keeps us hungry for more and keeps us coming back and wanting to connect with you guys. So it was it's gonna look different for each one of us, right? But if we can make a bright spot and something that we look forward to doing in our everyday life, like that's just something that keeps us going. I don't know about you guys, but like I don't want to live this purposeless, non-exciting life. And I want something that I can look forward to each and every single day, whatever that may be. And it's always going to be different. There's a meeting that I get to attend every single morning, and like that's a bright spot to my day. Like I look forward to that from the moment I wake up, and that's only within the first hour of the start of my day, that first time that I wake up. But I look forward to that bright spot of my day because I know it's going to get me in a better mood, and it's going to just help me set the tone for the day. So, again, ever since I read that the other day, just trying to keep that in the forefront of my mind, especially now, Just because we are being asked to do the responsible thing of, staying home, and, physically distancing ourselves, it doesn't mean that we can't, still be social and connect and talk to each other and reach out. It doesn't mean that I have to live this life of boredom. I know there's a lot of funny jokes and memes going around about, being so bored, during quarantine. And, we can laugh and joke about that stuff, sure. Does it get boring and lonely at times? Sure. You know, for those of you who are people who are normally very busy, like being home and having this much downtime, I'm sure it does get very boring. It gets very boring for me too. I do live alone, and I do, I am somebody who is used to being on the go, go, go all day. So there are those moments where it gets boring. But again, like I shared the other day, like I personally don't want to let this time go to waste. I don't want to look at it as, oh, I just wasted 2 months of my life being bored and not doing anything and not getting anything out of it. That's just a mindset. That's all that is. It doesn't mean it's true. And I don't want to live that way. So for me, even in my little day-to-day quarantine life here, I try to at least put one thing in my little schedule throughout my day, that something that I can just look forward to. And it doesn't have to be this big extravagant thing, right? Because it's a little challenging for us to go do the things we normally enjoy. But it can be something small. It can be like making yourself an ice cream sundae, like for me, that's not something I do every day. So if that was the one thing I look forward to that day, then great. You know what I mean? It can just be something little like that. But the whole point of it is just to find that one little thing that's gonna keep you, staying fresh and staying excited, staying motivated, staying hungry to continue to grow and to get up each and every day. And I know that's hard, and I know there are days we just want to sleep in, and we're not sure what's happening out there in the world, and it can be challenging and scary at times. And sometimes we just want to stay in bed, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I know for me, I don't want to let that become an everyday thing. For me, I let that be a weekend thing, but even then, I'm not staying there the whole day. That's just me. I just can't sit still for that long. But, I'm not making it an everyday thing. So do I have to be go, go, go motivated every second of every day? No. But I still want to have some of that motivation and to keep that commitment more so to doing something beneficial for myself every single day. So that was just kind of, kind of went off there, but that was just something that had really just stayed with me since we did the reading the other day. I'll check in with you guys real quick. Jake says, I look forward to these Facebook Lives. It keeps me actively and consciously thinking about how I can improve and grow as a person. That being said, I have to be aware of times like the weekend where I don't have as much going on. So I have to be vigilant about filling that time with something that's healthy for me, whether it's work or play. I love that, and that's such a great awareness too, right? So I'm always talking with you guys about, really working on your self-awareness. A lot of that comes in the practice of, just checking in with yourself multiple times throughout the day. That's a really good way to practice self-awareness. It's forcing yourself to pause, okay? Slow down, take a step back, take a few deep breaths, and check in with yourself. All right, like, what am I feeling right now? How am I doing? Check in with your HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Are you any of those things? What can you fix right now to, lift up that mood a little bit? And the check-ins with ourselves too, when we're in those really difficult mindsets of anxiety and worry and kind of freaking out and some crisis or chaos is going on. That's another really good time to just pause and check in with yourself. Take a step back, take a few breaths. It's okay. So that's really great to have that awareness and knowing that, yeah, like a lot of us still are working from home right now, and that's not everybody's situation, but so I'm still being diligent for myself about keeping the weekends still the weekend. It's important, right? Because that's self-care. I can't be sucked into work all the time because it's not healthy. Then what do I have left for me? I need to make sure I'm not getting burnt out, and that's a struggle right now. I don't know if some of you guys can relate to that. But that's a really good point, Jake. Whether it's work or play, like, what can I do this weekend that's healthy for me? And we talk about, putting that one little thing into our day that we can look forward to. What can you do this weekend to look forward to? If you are quarantined with your family, can you set up a football game out back, or, have a cookout, with the people that you've been quarantined with, just spending time with the people who are in your household. Or if you're somebody that, lives alone, like, is there something you've really been wanting to do? And I don't mean cleaning and organizing closets. I mean, we're a month into this thing, so I would guess that most of our houses are pretty clean by now with all this downtime we've had. But I mean, really doing something for you. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and I was just talking about, I was like, I feel like I'm just so busy and I'm creating this schedule for myself all the time, which is great. I'm getting stuff done and I'm working and I'm reaching out to people, but I was like, I still haven't like painted. I still haven't like baked cookies and things that I love doing for me. Just little tiny things like that. So can you let those bright little spots, can you plan something ahead for your weekend, whether it's tomorrow or Sunday? Can you do that for yourself? Whether it's work or play, it's a really good point. Holly says, I look forward to your positive words every day. Thank you, Holly. Glad you're here. Mike's on here. Nellie's on here. Hey, guys. Hello, hello. So, I did not do a live video yesterday, but rather, I posted a question to you guys because I was feeling a little bit stuck, and I have shared that before with you guys. As far as these books I've been doing, and they've been great. I'm assuming everyone who continues to join on here also has been enjoying the readings that I've been doing, and I have as well. But the book I've been doing recently, there was a set of 11 questions, and we've actually gone through all of those. So then I was kind of back in this spot of like, oh, I sound like I'm kind of being redundant lately, and I'm kind of circling around the same topics over and over. And I was feeling stuck once again. So I actually posted a question on here to you guys yesterday. Excuse me, I'm not sure if anyone was able to see that, but the post, if you go to our Rock Recovery Fitness Facebook page under the posts, you'll see where it says Rock Recovery Fitness is with Chelsea Curley. That's me. And I wrote to you guys, I said, we need your help. Outrageous Openness has been getting questions and ideas from books, but now we're looking to you. Tell us what you want to discuss by answering the following in the comments. What questions are on your mind the most these days? The how, the who, the what, the where, the when, the why. So I asked people to comment and see what they came up with. And Jake, of course, was actually my first one on there. That's why I was actually really hoping he would pop up on the video today, and he did, and you're here, Jake, and I'm so grateful for that. So, I'm not sure what direction we're heading in these. I would still love to do some kind of a book discussion, but, this isn't really necessarily about what I want to read and what I want to share, I don't come on here to be an expert about anything. The only thing that I'm an expert at is my own life experiences, my strength, and my hope that I can share with you guys. But that's about the only thing I'm an expert on. I do bake cookies and decorate them pretty well, so, maybe that area too. So anyways, I'm kind of looking to you guys, what do you want to hear? What are the most questions that are on your mind right now? They can be silly, and they can be simple, and they can be fun, or some of the things that are, weighing in on your mind right now. I'd love to hear from you guys. So I'd actually would really like to read Jake's post from yesterday on my question to you guys. I felt that was really important and something really powerful. So Jake wrote yesterday, he said, with everything going on lately, it's put a halt on my dreams and aspirations. I'm working on areas of myself that I can. I ask myself, how can I prepare and plan to accomplish my goals when everything is on pause? Am I doing or done everything in my power at the moment to accomplish said goals? How can I continue to motivate myself when I have this lack of fulfillment feeling in my stomach? What backup plans do I need to make because of this uncertain time frame of returning to normal life? And, thank you, Jake, for posting that and participating. That was just, there were so many good questions in that post. I had read it a couple times, and, even now I'm just continuing to kind of go back and forth between screens and read it. Kirsten's on here, Lisa's joining, my Rock Recovery crew. Glad to have you guys. So, for those of you who are just joining in, I was kind of reading the Facebook posts that, we put out there yesterday, kind of wanting to hear from you guys. What are some of the questions, what are some of the things that you want to discuss? What kind of questions are on your mind these days? And I had just read Jake's response from yesterday, which was very thought-provoking. And Jake made a really good point. Feeling like his dreams and aspirations are on hold right now, and that's valid. I feel like, life is kind of on hold right now. And, but what I love about Jake's response was that, you didn't just stop there, Sure, certain things are on hold right now, right? But all that is temporary. It's a temporary hold. This is not permanent. Right now we're being asked to do the most responsible thing, not for ourselves, but so that we're, kind and thinking about other people around us too. That's what this is really about. So we're doing our best that we can right now to stay home and to follow these guidelines. But while we're doing that, that most certainly is difficult for each and every single one of us for different reasons, and similar reasons too. But, this affects all of us in very different ways. But Jake made a good point, something that I hadn't really thought about. Sometimes those dreams and goals are kind of put on hold right now. I can only achieve so much. But what I love about that idea of, like not stopping there, just because my dreams and aspirations and goals are put on hold right now, that doesn't mean that I have to stop, right? It doesn't mean that I have to sit like a bump on a log and sit here for 2 months, watching the clock pass by. Like, I don't have to do that, you don't have to do that. We all have the option and the choice today, the freedom of choice to still work on those things. So Jake had some really great follow-up questions that I would really love to pose to you guys. Jake said, I asked myself, how can I prepare and plan to accomplish my goals when everything is on pause, right? And so part of that's like that self-awareness and those self-check-ins we were just talking about a few moments ago. Can you take some time during your day and write down some of those dreams and those aspirations that you have, whether it was something you had 6 months ago, whether it's something you had 10 years ago and it still hasn't been accomplished yet, or whether it's something new you're thinking of. During all this downtime, I don't know about you guys, but my brain's doing a lot more thinking than normal, right? So is there things that you guys have been thinking about during this downtime, like new aspirations and new goals, right? Have any of that stuff come up for any of you guys? So self-reflection, sitting down and making time, like what are those goals? What are those aspirations? And if your goal and your aspiration right now, for those of you who are in recovery, and especially early recovery right now, if your only goal and aspiration right now is to make it through the day sober, then that is great. That is a great goal and a great something to strive for each and every day, right? And if we can accomplish that, just doing that one day at a time right now, then then you're doing it. You're doing the things, But are there other goals and other aspirations that you guys have thought about too? And asking yourself, how can I prepare and plan to accomplish those things while everything is on pause right now? And I'm thinking, like, now is actually a perfect time for planning, right? Because I have the time for it. Before in my normal life, quite honestly, for me, I didn't make a whole lot of goals. I was very busy, doing work and, socializing with friends and family, recovery life. My life keeps me very busy. But I think back to that. I'm like, how many little goals, besides just making it through that day, did I really set up for myself? This is the time right now, this gift of time that we have been given. This is the time right now to work on those, right? This is the time right now, like, to spend planning. If I even spent like 20 minutes a day just writing out some different outlines for myself or different ways I could accomplish goals, specifics of how I could reach those goals, things that I can do right now to plan that, when life does move on, whatever that will look like, I don't know still, whatever that will look like, when that resumes, are you set up? Did you make plans for yourself during this time so that when we get that time back, are you able to jump right back into it? So Jake had some really great questions on there. He also asked himself, am I doing or done everything in my power at the moment to accomplish said goals? How can I continue to motivate myself when I have this lack of fulfillment feeling in my stomach? And that's another great question. I think so many of us can really relate to that, maybe not feeling as fulfilled as we would in our normal lives, right? And there may be little moments here and there. I can't speak for anybody else but myself, so I have had little moments of fulfillment. And I will tell you what, those little moments have already come in the form of you guys commenting on here, saying how much you look forward to these videos every day. Not just mine, all of ours at Recovery. And we've all had discussion about that. When you guys message us and let us know like how you're doing, you let us know your accomplishments, you let us know who you are and where you're from, and you guys let us get to know you. And you tell us, how much these videos have impacted your life, or you tell us how much Recovery has impacted your life. those are moments of fulfillment. At least they are for me. I'm sure for some of my other recovery crew that are on here right now, they can testify to that as well. Those are moments of fulfillment when we know that we're reaching you guys and that we're connecting. I certainly feel fulfilled when I read your guys' comments, and I thank you for that. And I will continue to encourage you to message us. Let us know how we're affecting your lives. Let us know how we can help. Let us know what we can do better. So thank you guys for that. But at a time right now, that fulfillment is not there as easily as it would normally be in our regular life. So, the question on the post from Jake yesterday was, how do I stay motivated during this time? And I think I've shared this with you guys before, but motivation is but a feeling. And just like all of our feelings and emotions, they are fleeting. They are constantly changing. And I don't know about you guys, but my emotions are constantly going around the little emotion wheel multiple times a day, every single day during this time, right? I'm experiencing all sorts of the whole wide range of emotions and feelings that there are during this time. And that's challenging. That's an adjustment for sure. But motivation is on there. It's fleeting. As quickly as those emotions and feelings change, so does motivation. How quickly have you ever gotten that moment of like, yeah, I'm gonna get up and go for a run today, or I'm gonna go for this awesome workout today, or I'm gonna get up and go do this and get up and go do that. And how quickly do you notice 10 minutes later you're like, man, I'm not feeling that. I don't really have time for that. I'm most certainly really actually not gonna do that. Can any of you guys relate to that? That's happened to me a lot of times too. So motivation is fleeting. It's very fast. It comes and it goes. So I like to say, and I kind of stole this from Steve Weatherford, but it's more about commitment. It's making a commitment to ourselves. So when I say I'm gonna get up and go for a run, or I'm gonna go outside for 10 minutes today, 5 minutes after I say that to myself, I could be like, I actually don't really feel like doing that. That motivation's gone. So what it's about is making that commitment. So if I get up and I say, I'm going to go run, or I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk today, then I make that commitment to myself and stick with it. So it is hard to remain motivated. You're right, but that's why we make commitments instead of that. Kind of just continuing to reading some of these questions from the post yesterday. And Jake's last question on there was, what backup plans do I need to make because of this uncertain time frame of returning to normal life? Absolutely. Great question, because, right, like, no matter how much news we watch, no matter how much we read, there still is the uncertainty of the time frame of returning to normal life, right? Nobody actually really knows. No one can give a for sure exact time, date, and place and time. It's just not, it's not realistic. So while having that acceptance that this time frame is uncertain right now, what backup plans do I need to make? And that's a great question too. These are all really great self-check-in questions. So Jake, I'm going to give you a shout out again. I really appreciate your post on there. And I would love to hear from some more of you guys. Again, I know I'm not reading out of the book. And maybe what I'll do is, kind of just thinking out loud here and forming this as I go, as I usually do, which is why you guys love tuning into me, because I'm so all over the place sometimes. Maybe what I'll do is I'll kind of repost that question again, because I would love to see some more answers on there. Lisa also commented on that post from yesterday, with some more lighthearted questions too, which I love to hear, right? There is so much sadness and frustration and anger and fear and all those negative emotions being dumped on top of us right now. Things are very heavy some days. I get that. I feel that, So I love hearing the lighthearted side of things. Some of the questions that Lisa had posted on there. Who would everyone want to be quarantined with if they could choose anyone? So a famous person, a friend, past or present, anyone. And if you could be quarantined anywhere, where would it be? How long is everyone going to be? How long is everyone going to go before they start cutting their own hair? I think about that too. Like, how long is everyone's hair going to be after quarantine ends if you haven't gotten a haircut yet? I know I haven't. But I love those lighthearted questions too, right? We don't have to be so serious and focused in our doom and gloom all the time. Are there times where it's appropriate to feel our way through those negative feelings and allow that stuff to come out and talk about it? Absolutely. But I feel like we've all been doing that so much lately. So I believe it's so important for all of us to find something to laugh at throughout the day. Find something silly and absolutely ridiculous. Even if you live alone, I don't care. Make yourself laugh somehow, some way. Go make faces at yourself in the mirror. I don't know. It's just so important to have those lighthearted moments in our lives. I'm going to check in with some of the comments here. Melissa says, I'm thinking about. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, with things. Melissa says, I'm thinking about when life goes back to normal. How will I handle the stress? That's a good question. Yeah. And something like that, we can certainly plan, It doesn't mean that we can't plan ahead. Like right now, we're all being forced to just really slow down and live 24 hours at a time. And sometimes when that feels too heavy, we're forced to slow down even more and live 1 hour at a time. And there are times when 1 hour feels like it's way too much. How am I going to make it through the next hour? I can't do this. Slow it down again. We can focus on 1 minute at a time, one breath at a time if we have to, you know. And it's really important that we stay here in the day, because if all we're doing, and I'm very guilty of this as well, I'm not preaching here, but this is just my experience. If all I'm doing is focusing on the future, what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen on Sunday, what's going to happen a month from now, what's going to happen a year from now, when are we turning back to normal life? If all I'm doing is focusing in the future, I'm not right here, right now, and I'm not able to enjoy right here and right now. In fact, I'm probably missing out on something here, right now. It's just so important to bring ourselves back to that moment. And that doesn't mean that we can't plan. We absolutely, in life in general, like COVID or not, we should certainly have plans moving forward, or even if it's like a vacation, of course that's something you're going to plan for. How am I going to handle that stress of when life goes back to normal? That's certainly okay to plan for, but I can't stay there. I can't stay there thinking about that throughout my entire day. I can't live there. I can't live in the past. I heard someone say in a meeting this morning, I can't, what did she say? She said, the past is a nice place to visit, but I can't live there. And the future can be a nice place to visit, but I most certainly cannot live there. I'm not promised that future. So while I can do a little bit of planning ahead, it's so important for us to remember to bring it back to right here and right now. Because I can plan ahead a little bit and think, well, maybe this is how I would handle stress. I'm learning coping skills now. But you know what? I don't know how I'm going to handle a darn thing until I get to that point. I have no clue. I can give you a list of how I might handle things when we return back to normal, but I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know that I would get to that point whenever normal returns. I have no idea how I'm going to handle things at that time. So why put my energy there, right? Holly shares, one of my goals is to be smarter with my finances. Me too. I think that's a skill we could all learn. And that's great, right? So take it one step further. One of my goals is to be smarter with my finances. Okay, great goal. How am I going to get there? What do I have to do to become better and smarter and more organized with my finances? How do I get there? What do those steps look like? And like I said earlier, now is the time where we can actually sit down and plan those things out. We can write those things out. Absolutely. Holly says, love all of you. We love you, Holly. I'm glad you're on here. I love seeing, there's been quite a few of you have continuously showed up every single day to almost all of our videos, and it's just so cool to watch. I personally really just enjoy connecting with so many of you on here. Lisa says, goal, develop the ability to find peace in the depth of my own self so that no matter what, I will always have a place that offers serenity. The goal is inspired by Glennon Doyle's book, Untamed, and to be brought to me by my higher power. Great question, Jake. Absolutely. I think I would also say that's a pretty good goal for right now in the circumstances. I'll read that one again for you guys. Develop the ability to find peace in the depth of my own self so that no matter what, I will always have a place that offers serenity. I want you guys to think about that for a minute, What would that look like if you had peace deep within yourself? Think about that for a minute. What would it look like if you had true moments of peace within inside yourself? Would that look different, when you're in times of chaos? Would you handle that chaos differently? Would it look different if you're in an argument with a family member, a sibling, or a loved one? Would that look differently if you had that inner peace? I think that is such an important thing that we can all work on right now, right? We can all work on developing that ability to find that inner peace. So that way, when everything out here is crumbling and getting all crazy and chaotic, I still have me and I still have this inner peace. And eventually when that inner peace is genuine and it's there more and more frequent, that starts radiating out of us. And what happens is when that starts radiating out of us, like other people catch on to that. And that does sound silly, but it's true. Like other people pick up on that stuff. We kind of feed off of each other's emotions, even through a screen, even through Facebook. You know, if I'm carrying on about my day, whether it's on Facebook or in person, and I don't have that inner peace, and I'm irritable and I'm angry and I'm short with people and I cut somebody off in traffic and I'm cursing in my car, and then I go home and take it out on the on the dog or in an argument or whatever it is, all that ripple effect, all that does is radiate outwards, But if I have that inner peace, you know, and I'm radiating that instead, other people catch on to that. Instead of me cutting somebody off in traffic, can I let somebody go ahead of me and give them the wave? You know? And in turn, in their mind, they might pick that up and do that to the next person. That ripple effect is always there, whether it's positive or negative. So it's just something to think about. If we're more at peace and we can have more of that inner serenity, maybe everyone else could start to have some of that too. We can pass that along to each other. Holly says, the fear of the unknown makes me get in my head way too much. You are absolutely right. Yep. It's exactly where that keeps us, is trapped in our minds and trapped in worry and trapped in anxiety. The fear of the unknown. And for all of us, this is unknown. This is new territory, right? We're in the midst of, history that's being created right now. This is new. There's so much unknown. Like, the amount of unknowns right now are just, it blows my mind. It's insane. And it's scary. You're absolutely right, Holly. But when I focus on those, yeah, that's exactly what it does. It gets me in here. It keeps me in here. I'm always in here. But it keeps me in here. And it keeps me from getting other things done. It keeps me from being productive. It keeps me from reaching out to others. Because if I'm so busy trapped in here worrying about what's going to happen and worrying about my stuff, and I've very much been guilty of this, it's something that I'm working on too, so good reminder. But if I'm so busy wrapped up in here, I don't have room to open my heart to be there for somebody else, So it's good to just, doing that self-check-in again, recognize, all right, like, I'm focusing on this fear of when Corona's going to end, when is life going to turn back to normal? I don't know. So let's put my focus back to right here and right now. And what can I do for myself right now? What nice thing can I do for myself? What act of self-care? What hobby can I do? Something that I really enjoy doing. Or, hey, who can I call that I haven't called in a while? Can I call my mom? Actually, I do need to do that. Mom, I'll get back to you. I forgot twice now. I got to call my mom, or I got to call my friend, or I got to call this other person that I know is brand new in recovery. How can I be there for them? So we can get rid of that clutter of worrying about the fear of the unknown, right? We can let that stuff go and make time for right now. Nikki says, I love this. Staying in the moment keeps popping up throughout my day today. Definitely taking some extra work for me today. Yeah. And that's just it, right? It's a practice. It is work. We're not we're not wired that way. Our brains are wired to multitask, to do things, to think, to be productive, right? Like, I'm sure so many of you can relate, but like, our brains are going all the time. It takes so much work and practice to stay in the moment, but it doesn't mean it's not possible, right? It's very possible. And that comes in many different ways. I'm not going to go into all that, but we've talked on here multiple times about meditation, and that just allows you to just sit in that space, just be quiet and just focus on the right here and the right now. That's what's important, is the right here and the right now. So I'm kind of looking at my clock here. I'm kind of past my half an hour, but, you guys have had some really good discussion today, and I haven't even cracked a book yet. So I just really thank you guys for your participation, and that looks in ways of, even just showing up, that's participation, and sharing on here. That's absolutely participation. And I appreciate it because, again, I'm not on here as an expert on anything really. I'm just up here sharing my experience, my strength, and my hope. In the past, I've shared, multiple passages out of a couple different books for you guys, which have also been really great, so those are someone else's words that I'm sharing. I'm just kind of, that vehicle that brings it to you. And, but, I feel very comfortable that I'm able to be honest and open with you guys. People that I know and people that I don't know. There's a good majority of you I've never even met. And my goodness, you've been showing up on here every day for weeks now, and it's just been so amazing. And you guys help me too. I'm human, and I get stuck sometimes too, and I appreciate everybody's feedback. I appreciate everyone's participation and adding questions into here. It's really kind of led a discussion. It's kind of weird just saying that leads a discussion, because it's literally just me talking to me. but you guys are out there too, obviously. But that's why these comments are so great on here, because I can continue to check in with you guys, and it kind of steers the conversation in a different way too. So thank you guys just so much for showing up every day. So yeah, I think what I'll do is I won't be back on here until Monday, but I think what I'll do is I'll repost the question that was posted yesterday, and I would love to see some more of you guys answer that and kind of see where you want this to go. To see what some of you guys have been, what kind of questions you want to hear, or even if there's any readings or something like that. We'll kind of move through this thing together. So I'm so glad I was able to get back on here today. I was kind of a little hesitant. I wasn't sure what I was gonna fully share about, but you guys have really just filled in that space, and the fact that you're even connecting with each other on here too is just huge. You guys are you guys are giving more support and connection than so thank you all. So all of our information is posted up at the top of where under it says outrageous openness up here. Check out our Facebook other Facebook live videos. So our schedule is posted right on our Facebook homepage. It is pinned at the top, or you can also view it on rockcoveryfitness.org, our website. So if you'd like to pass that along to other people. So we are still keeping up with our virtual videos. We've got all sorts of other cool rock recovery people doing some awesome videos on here too. We've got some good stuff coming at you this weekend, so make sure to stay tuned and check out those weekend videos too. I know Jake made a good point. The weekend is a little bit more of downtime for people. So please stay active, stay busy, but make it fun for yourself. Don't put too much stress to work for yourself this weekend. Like I said, find something that's going to be a bright spot for you this weekend. Whether it's making an ice cream sundae on a Friday or Saturday night, ordering pizza and movie, I don't know. Maybe you've been doing that every night. I don't know what your life looks like, but find something that's a bright spot for yourselves this weekend. And in the meantime, if you guys are struggling, please, I encourage you to stay tuned to our videos. I also will continue to encourage you every day that if you guys are struggling or would like peer mentor services, we are still giving those services. So you guys can either call our peer phone number. It's 585-622-4975. Again, that phone number is posted right up top, right above the chat here. Or you can Facebook message us or email us. The email address is on there as well. So please reach out, guys. Please don't hesitate. And maybe it's not you that's struggling, but maybe you have a family member or a friend or a loved one, whoever, that you think might be able to benefit from peer services, or maybe they would just like the video, something to fill that downtime right now, because I know that downtime is hard. I get that, I do. So pass these along to them. All these videos do save, and I hope you guys can tune into the other ones here. But yeah, we're here. I know it's easier said than done to just say don't lose hope, but I truly do mean that. Even if it's just a tiny little bit of hope, hang on to that. So I won't see you guys back here until Monday, because I'm gonna enjoy my weekend and I'm gonna make a bright spot for myself this weekend. So that's my challenge to leave you guys with today. Think about some more questions. Number one, think about more questions that you guys would like to see or talk about. I'll repost the Facebook post so you guys can please comment on there. And number two is to plan something for this weekend that you can look forward to, whether it's just for yourself. I don't care whether it's any kind of stuff, whether you just want to relax and take a bath and put on, nice music, something to just de-stress a little bit, any of those little self-care things like that, are so important at this time. Or whether it's doing something with your family or whoever you've been kind of quarantined with, maybe you can plan something fun outside in your backyard with them for the weekend. I don't know, but give yourself something to look forward to this weekend. I know there's a lot of local restaurants that are, still doing takeout food right now, so you can always order. Maybe you'll get some takeout this weekend. I'm going to put a plug in there for Phillips European. They're still open and cooking up chicken French and all sorts of awesome desserts, so you guys can always give a call to one of your favorite local restaurants. Treat yourself to take out dinner on a Friday or Saturday night, Just do something for yourself. Do something nice for yourself. I've been rambling on way too long. Lots of coffee today. But thank you guys for showing up today. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And again, if you guys are, struggling over the weekend or need to connect with somebody or need to talk to one of us, we are here. So please do not hesitate to call or message us. All right? Have an awesome weekend. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.